Good morning, students. Today we will going to discuss a unit from your mathematics 3 syllabus known as Laplace transforms. Before going further, I want to discuss the basic contents that Laplace transform exist. First one is Laplace transforms of some standard functions, and inverse Laplace transform, fast shifting property, transformations of derivatives and integrals, unit step function, second shifting theorem. Then we will discuss the convolution theorem for periodic function. Then differentiation and integration of transformation functions. And lastly, the application of Laplace transform to ordinary differential equations. Then we were coming to the definition of, before going to the definition of Laplace transform, I want to discuss some brief introduction about Laplace transform. That Laplace transforms were introduced by Pierre Simon Marcus de Laplace during the year 1749 to 1827, who is known as a French mathematician, also known as the Newton of France. It is a powerful technique which replaces operations of calculus by operation of algebra. And if you suppose an ordinary or partial differential equation together with initial conditions is reduced to a problem solving an algebraic equation. Now moving to the definition of Laplace transform. What is the definition? First, for that you have to consider a function ft for all t greater than equal to 0. Then the Laplace transform of the function ft, which is defined as L of ft equal to 0 to infinity e to the power minus st ft dt. Now if you integrate this function, you will get a function of s which is known as capital F within bracket s. Here capital L is called the Laplace transform operator, and the function t is known as the determining function, which is depending on t. The new function, that is capital Fs, which is to be determined as capital Fs, is called the generating function, and that is depending on s. Clearly here function of s is equal to f bar s, which is nothing but L of f. Now after that we will discuss some usefulness of Laplace transform. First one, with the help of Laplace transform, we can evaluate particular solution without first determining the general solution, and we will discuss these points when we will discuss the problems. Then the second one is non-homogeneous equations are solved without obtaining the complementary integral. Then solutions of mechanical or electrical problems involving discontinuous force functions, that is right hand side function fx, or periodic functions other than cos and sine, are obtained easily. The last one is the Laplace transformation is a very powerful technique, I already told that, and which replaces operation of calculus by operation of algebra. Now if you can deduce this relation with the help of the example, then the example is defined by, with the application of Laplace transform to an initial value problem consisting of an ordinary or partial differential equation together with initial condition is reduced to a problem of solving an algebraic equation, that is with any given initial conditions automatically taken care of. Now coming to the application part, Laplace transform is very useful in obtaining solutions of linear differential equations, which is both in ordinary and partial, solution of system of simultaneous differential equations, then solution of integral equations, as well as the solutions of linear differential equations, and in the equivalent of definite integral. Now we are moving to the flow chart of obtaining the Laplace transform. For that we will begin the original equation, which is in terms of t, then Laplace transform will be obtained, and the final equation is in terms of s. Thus we can say Laplace transform transforms one class of complicated functions ft to produce another class of simpler function of fs. Now here it is also written some advantages. What are the advantages? With the application of Laplace transform, particular solution of differential equation is obtained directly, as I told earlier, without the necessary of first determining general solution and then obtaining the particular solution. For that, substitution of initial conditions should be used. Then a Laplace transform solves non-homogeneous differential equations without the necessary of the first solving the corresponding homogeneous differential equation. It is also applicable not only to continuous functions but also to piecewise continuous functions, complicated periodic functions, as step functions, as well as impulse functions. Then the last one is the Laplace transform technique of various functions are readily available. Now this is the definition I have already discussed. The flowchart is given here. Now we can say that Laplace transformation of ft is said to be active at border point if the integral 0 to infinity e to the power minus st ft dt converges for some values of s. Otherwise it does not exist. That means I mean to say, if the indefinite integral converges for some values of s, only then the Laplace transform will exist. Now one more definition of Laplace transform, which is given as alternative definition, that is known as a function ft is said to be piecewise continuous in any interval ab. It is defined on the interval and is such that the interval can be broken up into a finite number of sub-intervals in each of which ft is continuous. So in mathematical terms, a transform is usually a device that converts one type of problem to another problem type. So the main application of differential equation using Laplace transform and inverse Laplace transformation is that by solving differential equation directly by using variation of parameters, etc., or we first find the general solution and then we substitute the initial or boundary values. In some cases what you find, it will be more critical to find the general solution. By using Laplace transform and inverse Laplace transformation, we will not going to find the general solution, and in the middle we substitute the boundary condition, so the problem becomes simple. Now after this initial brief introduction about Laplace transform with the definition, we will move to the properties of Laplace transform. The first property is the Laplace transformation of constant k is k by s. So this can be easily proved by using the formula L of ft equal to 0 to infinity e to the power minus ft dt equal to fs. Now if you put L of ft, in place of ft you have to replace by k, then in ft formula you just replace ft by k. Then if you integrate, k is a constant coming outside, the 0 to infinity e to the power minus st dt, you can easily integrate this by putting the upper limit and lower limit. You will have the value k by s. Okay, the next property is the Laplace transform of e to the power at is 1 by s minus a. It is again easily is solvable by using the definition, and in that definition you just have to put the value of ft is equal to 1, e to the power at. Now you just have to integrate the function as from 0 to infinity e to the power minus s plus a, that is you combine this minus st and at, minus s plus a t dt. If you simply integrate and put the upper limit and lower limit, you will get the value 1 by s minus a. Now an important part from Laplace transform is the definition of gamma function. What is gamma n? Gamma n can be defined as the indefinite integral 0 to infinity e to the power minus t into t to the power n minus 1 dt for any positive value of n, or gamma n equal to 0 to infinity e to the power minus x to the power n minus 1 dt for any value of n greater than equal to 0. So these are some two notes for formula for gamma n plus 1 equal to n into gamma n, that is nothing but equal to factorial n, and gamma of half equal to 1 by gamma of half equal to root pi. How can you get root pi? If you just put the value of gamma n here, you can replace n by half you will easily get the value as root over pi. Another important property of Laplace transform is there is nothing but the formula allows Laplace transform t to the power n for any n non-negative real number. So L of ft equal to 0 to infinity e to the power minus st ft dt. Now you just replace ft by t to the power n. Now you just use some simple substitution technique for integration to get the value of L of t to the power n equal to 1 by s to the power n plus 1 gamma n plus 1. Now put in the values of gamma n plus 1 here. You will have L of t to the power n equal to factorial n by s to the power n plus 1. So with the help of these properties, we can evaluate some examples. Suppose first problem is if you are going to find the Laplace transform of t to the power half. So t to the power half, you have to use the formula of t to the power n. So formula is factorial n by s to the power n plus 1. So you will put the value of factorial half 1 by s half plus 1 into gamma 3 by 2. That is the formula gamma n plus 1 equal to n into factorial n. So you will put the values of t to the power L of t to the power half equal to 1 by s to the power 3 by 2 into root over pi by 2. Similarly, you can find the value of L of t to the power minus half also by using the gamma function. Now moving to the next part, that is sectionally continuous curve or piecewise continuous. So here we can draw the figure, that is A, B are 2 points and C is the point lying in between A and B. Then a function fx is said to be sectionally continuous or piecewise continuous in any interval AB if it is continuous and has finite left and right limits in any subinterval AB. So from the figure it is obtained easily that in the above case Laplace transformation holds true. Okay, then we will move to the next part, that is function of exponential order. So a function fx is said to be exponential of order a as x tends to infinity if limit x tends to infinity e to the power minus ax fx is a finite value. So if you go to the definition, and if you want to illustrate that definition with the help of an example, we will take this example: verify x to the power n is an exponential order or not. So for that you have to put in the formula, that is limit x tends to infinity e to the power minus ax fx. That is limit x tends to infinity e to the power minus ax fx can be replaced by x to the power n. So limit x tends to infinity x to the power n by e to the power minus x. If you put the value of x equal to infinity, you will get infinity by infinity. That is equal to limit x tends to infinity factorial n by a to the power n e to the power ax factorial n by infinity, which is equal to 0. That is a finite value. So from this example you can easily say that x to the power n is an exponential order. Okay. Then what is the sufficient conditions for the existence of Laplace transformation? So for that, the Laplace transformation of ft exists, that is the improper integral 0 to infinity e to the power minus st into ft dt or L of ft exists if converges when the following conditions are satisfied. That is, the Laplace transform will converge if the following conditions are satisfied. What are the conditions? The ft, the function ft is a piecewise continuous function, and the function ft is an exponential of order small a. So for today, next class we will continue this video by discussing the more properties of Laplace transform. That is nothing but linear property, and followed by fast shifting property, that is also known as the fast translation property. Then we have to discuss some problems using these two properties. So for today, we will end today's class. Thanks.